tired of all these thoughts, but the harder I try, the more I get lost. Get lost. I didn't realize
There
I
you
hit.
are.
I'm in the wrong.
Lauren Elizabeth Balthrop. Look at you.
Yes, it's me. I just got out of the shower. Cool.
Amazing. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Look at you. Love that compound.
Thank you. I'm visiting my brother in New York, so I'm in my nephew's bedroom right now with the dartboard
Okay.
and lots of toys everywhere.
There you go. There you go. How is it to be back in New York? Your old stomping grounds.
I love it here. I miss walking culture. Where are you based?
Nashville. Nashville, yeah.
Oh, you are in Nashville. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I miss
absolutely.
I miss walking places.
Sure.
There's none of that in Nashville, really.
Unless you count 5 points, I guess, or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah, you gotta live like in one of those neighborhoods. Otherwise, it's not.
Absolutely.
Which I don't live in
Absolutely, Lauren.
either.
I hear that. I hear. Well, I get it, but absolutely. I mean, you look marvelous. Holiday spirit in full bloom, Lauren. You've had a heck of a year, and we're so happy to have you here. Been wanting to have you here for months. But want to talk about the highlights of your year and all that. But first, condolences on the passing of your pup, Reba.
Thank
Um,
you so much. That's so sweet.
I I mean, I had a Yorkie pass in November too. I had to put him down. So I
I'm so
relate.
sorry.
I know, I know. Tell me a little bit about Reba. How old was she?
She was only 2.5 years old. I got
Yeah,
her in the middle of the pandemic, and she was
yeah,
7 weeks old when I got her, so I got her as a puppy. I
yeah.
trained her, and I just loved her so much, and it was awful to have to put her down so soon, not only because of how attached I had grown to her, but it was my first dog, and
Mhm.
it's such an investment of time and energy and money when
Right,
when you get a dog and you have to train them as if you get them as a puppy,
right.
and it's just like, oh,
I know, I know.
sad.
Well, she's waiting for you in the Rainbow Road, and we
Oh
think of
yeah.
her, we honor her. We love dogs in this show, and I know she was a big part of your life. So, just wanted to start out with that. Sorry about that, Laura.
Thank you so much, and I'm sorry about your dog too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Lauren.
We're
But
lonely this
speak.
holiday season.
I know, I know, I know. My little Yorkie companion. He was an asshole, but a
The
lovable
best
asshole.
ones are.
That's the problem.
Reba
That's the
was an
problem. That's
asshole.
what.
Reba was an asshole too.
Oh my God, Lauren. But speaking of holidays, I have to ask you: is this like a fun time for you? Obviously, you've had a prolific career. You've had so much stuff, but is this like a good time? And what I mean is, I think everybody in the artistic community is always in such a like a rat race, creating
Yeah.
content, creating music, the single, the video, the this, the that. Is this like December period almost like an enjoyable pleasure that you can be with your nephew, you can be with your brother, and you don't feel like you're not doing enough?
Yeah. I enjoy this month. I'm not releasing any music this month, so it doesn't feel like that pressure is happening. Yeah, I love December, honestly. I'm not religious, but I love singing Christmas music and I love singing all
Mm,
kinds of holiday music. And tomorrow I actually have a women's choir in Brooklyn. We're performing tomorrow night. Um,
beautiful.
and we're singing all kinds of songs. An Israeli folk song, a Georgian song, a we're singing a Ukrainian carol, we're singing a Bulgarian song. It's like we sing all these different kinds of songs as well as um, some pop old songs like we sing Our House, the
Yeah,
Supposed to Be
yeah.
Stills in Nashville. We sing that.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Wow.
so it's really fun to just get together with, I think we have like 20 something women singing together.
That's
Which one?
amazing. Yeah, that's a very New York unique experience. So did you have to learn any of these new songs, Lauren?
Yes, I did. We had someone teach us the Israeli song yesterday, and it was so beautiful. It's a minor melody. It's very like dark sounding, but then it's around, so it's like the way they all go together in this beautiful tapestry. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
It's amazing how you guys do this. And by you guys, I mean, I'm not an artist, but obviously we have a lot of mutual friends and everything here in Nashville. I've seen you guys just, meet up at the five spot 10 minutes before a show. And you will just like, okay, what chord is this? Blah, blah, blah. And then you perform it. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, Lauren, how you guys do this.
Yeah. I love music in that way. Um I used to do theater,
Yeah,
but I love um the spontaneity that you can have with music.
yeah.
It's a lot easier, it's a lot harder, challenging to do um theater spontaneously or easily.
Why is that, Lauren? Because yeah, you were an actress, a very good one at
Well,
that.
unless
But
you're doing something like improv,
mm,
theater is a long form piece that has to be studied and requires, blocking and direction and character
is it
study
because
and
it's
all of
very
that.
notable, Lauren? Like if you're playing at the analog or you're playing at the Ryman or whatever, and you screw up a chord change, you screw up the word, like no one really knows except your band. But like
Yeah.
if you screw up the script or something, it's like everybody knows. Is that what it is?
No, it's just that you can't like say, let's do this play today. You
Gotcha.
can't like you have to find a theater, you have to find a group of actors, you got to find director, you got to block it all out. Everybody's got to memorize their lines. It just takes
Right.
time. Something that you can't do spontaneously. You could do a reading, maybe. A reading could happen
Yeah.
spontaneously. Like you got six people together and said, "You read these parts, you read these parts, you read these parts." You could do the reading, but a piece of theater just it's a lot more work and a lot more people involved. Like I can just go play on the street right now if I wanted to, without
Totally.
without anybody, um, without anyone's
Yeah.
help. I
Totally,
mean, I
Lauren.
guess
I
I
do
could
want to ask you.
also go do a monologue on the street if I wanted to.
That's hardcore. That's awesome. I do want to ask you about things will be different, but before that, you made me think about little Lauren Elizabeth in Mobile, Alabama, holiday season. How was that like? Because you say you love the holidays. How was it with your brother and with your folks growing up in Mobile? Like, what do you remember from this time of the year?
Um, I specifically remember we have a video of me like singing Christmas songs under the Christmas tree, and I was 5 years old, just hamming it up for everyone. Uh, Pretty cute. Definitely a ham as a child.
Right. Oh my God, I love it. It's great. This was your purpose, but yeah, on the switching to the artistic side here for a minute, Lauren. I mean, after you had a year like this one, which was an incredible year, with things will be different. It came out in August, by the way. My audience hasn't heard it. It's absolutely incredible. Songs like "Thank You" or "What are the Days." I mean, it's just a beautiful piece. How is it? How easy is it, Lauren, for you to kind of like switch gears after this? Because I've heard to some people and they're like creatively depleted after like they've released a baby into the universe like this. Others pivot pretty quickly. Where do you
Mhm.
feel like where do you fall in the spectrum?
Definitely leading up to the release, I was actually writing a lot and creating. I went on a songwriting retreat in France the week
Right.
before my album came out. But definitely like after the album came out and going on tour and doing all this promo, and I've definitely got burnt out on social media. I've sort of been taking
Hmm.
not a like complete break, but I haven't been really doing social media as much. which I know music industry people would frown upon, but I have to do it for me because I'm just like
Absolutely.
I can't keep going all the time, um,
No,
producing stuff. But I don't know. I know that you're supposed to, there's an album cycle and you've got to tour it and do it for a whole year or two, like really send this music out into the world. And part of me believes that, but it takes so much. And my heart is already like, I'm ready to make the next thing,
sure,
Because
sure.
for me, this record's already nearly 2 years old because recorded
Absolutely.
it. I recorded it in 2020 and 2021. So, but I understand that's not how things work. And, it just depends on where you are in your career. I'm somebody that's doing things mostly on my own. I have a publicist and I have um, a distributor that's helped me put out the music. But other than that, I kind of do everything.
Mm,
Um, so it just takes time because I'm doing it all. And it's not the only thing that I'm doing in my life. I have various other aspects of my
of course.
working life to keep up with. Um, so I imagine that it's easier if you're like a bigger artist and you have a team that's able to do a lot of the stuff for you.
Yeah,
Um, the managerial admin side of things, because it can really bog you down from getting to the creative aspect.
100%. a
Um,
100%.
but yeah, it's all
Yeah,
part of being a musician and putting music out into the world that you want other people to hear.
totally. Totally. But there is one thing from this album that I think you can take forward in your life, and for my listeners and for me, it's really inspiring and it's really great. And I wanted to ask you about it. I mean, it's that, in the single "Thank You," you talk about it, or in the cover art, and it's just kind of like breakthroughs and transformation and letting go of the past and making your life a masterpiece from challenges. And I am curious, Lauren, because this is a very important part of life, and it's so great that you're so conscious of this. And I wanted to ask you about this. Like, how did this is such an important principle of like quality of life, understanding that you create your own reality in darkness. Where did this come from, Lauren? Like, yeah, where did this come from? Like on a personal level, it's so inspiring.
I think we all try to live with little expectations, That's the goal is to
Hmm.
be in the moment and live in the moment, but we are all affected by what's happened to us in our past and what we expected to happen for us in the future and in the past, We all have, without meaning to, have expectations of what we want for our life. And for me, a lot of stuff um, was just so different than how I expected, that's life. And I suffered many heartbreaks, but overall, my life has been amazing. But I just, from those disappointments and heartbreaks, these songs came, and
Yeah,
my own revelations about how I see myself and my life and growing past those challenges too and learning to move forward with still some kind of hope and still trying to like just have no expectations and live in the moment. It's probably the hardest thing about being human.
beautiful. So what you're saying is trade your expectations for appreciation, and your whole life will change in an instant.
Yeah, basically.
Beautiful.
It's
Very,
hard to
very
live
beautiful.
that daily, right?
Powerful.
We get bogged down by the mundane or, transgressions between friends and family and loved ones and
Yeah,
it's hard to stay present in that sentiment.
absolutely. Well, Lauren, I want to let you enjoy your family, but let me leave you with this. Let's leave it with gratitude. You've had so many great memories, and I wanted to talk about just one, and I had a hard time picking one because you had such a great year. But I think that night at the Analog Hotel, which I did not go, I had a scheduling conflict, but a lot of my friends were there. Lydia Luz, friends of the
Yeah.
show, everyone was just beaming, talking about that night. And I'm wondering if you can kind of just like share with us about that night, what it meant for you, and because there was obviously something special there.
Oh, it was so meaningful to get to play those songs as arranged on the record with a string quartet. And, that's the sort of thing that you're like, oh, I wish I could do this every night. It's a lot to put on a show like that. And I just feel lucky that I got to do it once.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank you,
hope I
Lauren. Do you
can
want to
do
leave
it.
us? Do you want to take us away with one of your beautiful songs? Are you in the mood?
Sure, do you have a request from the album?
You know, whenever I get asked that, I'm like, "What are you feeling today, Lauren?" We're recording this in the middle of the holiday season. What are you feeling? What are you feeling in your soul right now?
Well, since you mentioned thank you, should I play thank you? Sure.
Sure.
That's what I'm feeling.
Thanks, Lauren.
Gratitude. Although this is a song about learning to be thankful for someone who broke your heart. And that could be you too. It could be your own self of like, oh, I let myself down. And you have to like grow past that and you go through all the stages of grief or whatnot. Um, and then you come to thank you at the end, right? Can you hear my guitar okay? Let me make sure that my original sound is on for you. Okay. One day I loved you, one day I hated you, one day I believed you, the words sounded true. Someday I'm sorry, someday I forgive you, someday I'll thank you when I'm ready to. There must be a place between broken and walking, a place to begin, a place with no end. There must be some time between you and I. There must be some grace where the road has to bend. One day I loved you, one day I hated you, one day I believed you, the words sounded true. Someday I'm sorry, someday I'll forgive you, someday I'll thank you when I'm ready to. There must be a wind between gentle and wild, fanning the One day I hated you. One day I believed you. The words sounded true. Someday I'm sorry. Someday I'll forgive you. Someday I'll thank you when I'm ready to. Oh, someday I'll thank you when I'm ready to.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like my chills have chills. The day is downhill from here, Lauren. Wow. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
And thank you for this
you.
great chat and, perfect for the holidays and as we go into the new year with the right state of mind. Thank you so much for your time, Lauren.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.